What should parents know about evaluating and addressing dysgraphia in their children? So, this is really an interesting piece because a lot of parents can't figure out why their kid is struggling with written language so much. And really, you need to understand there's really not a universally agreed upon dysgraphia definition, but we really know that it breaks down into two different areas. So, first of all, a lot of the students you see have struggles with fine motor. That's very obvious. They're struggling to form the letters, form the words, the spacing's off, they write up at an angle. That is a piece to dysgraphia. That is more that fine motor piece. That's very easily addressed with occupational therapy, those kinds of things. But the other piece that is really important to understand is executive functioning dysgraphia. So, one of the things that a lot of students that struggle with attention, they also struggle with written language. So, executive functioning dysgraphia is one of those things that the students struggle with all of the different tasks that go into getting their thoughts onto paper. Getting your thoughts onto paper is very, very difficult. And it's one of those things that is dependent on planning, organizing, monitoring, memory skills. I mean, think about what you do when you have to write. You have to organize what you want to say in your brain. Then you have to somehow figure out how you're going to group it together. Then you have to actually write it down on the page. And then you have to be able to remember how to spell things, what's the punctuation, and hold it all in your memory while you're doing all of that stuff. Very, very difficult for attention kids. So that is executive functioning dysgraphia. And that's a huge struggle for a lot of kids. So that's important to know that that's there. The last area is a dyslexia, dysgraphia piece. So a lot of the students that struggle with dyslexia or dysgraphia also struggle with dyslexia, and they're struggling with the spelling, the writing, the phonological piece to written language. So it comes in those three different categories, but the most common by far is the executive functioning dysgraphia. And really, when we look at students that when we're testing for dysgraphia, we're always looking into that executive functioning and that dyslexia piece. And of course, the fine motor is going to come out as well. But really, those are the areas we're looking at. And having an evaluation that really looks into those areas and pinpoints the areas, that is where you're going to see the best success, because you're now going to know what areas to focus on and what areas need support. And then you can tailor the intervention for that.